My mother used to say with much levity that everybody has a weird relative in their family, and if you look around the room and can't find them, chances are it's you. So if American history was standing at a cocktail party looking around the room, it would point at me. I'm having the hardest time with American history, and I think I'm overthinking it. So here's what I've decided to do. I'm going to stick with my original idea of the Betsy and Giulio Maestro books, which is in my previous video, or actually one of the first videos I did for this channel. And I like them because I want to do American history this year as a unit study in conjunction with our requirement to do North Dakota history. And here's why. I'm going to put it all together as a field trip, or implement a field trip as well, or a couple actually. So with these books, we'll start, I think we can do 2 a week. So I'm going to cover the books, and then I'm going to cover what we're going to do for a project. We'll have 2 projects. One will be an American history project, and the other will be the North Dakota Studies project. And maybe a little bit of government too. I'm not sure. American history and government kind of go hand in hand in many ways until you're much older, and then you can separate it and piecemeal it apart, and it turns into politics. So here's the deal. This is what we're going to do. So we'll do 2 a week, the Discovery of Americas. And what I like about these books, and I showed you a couple of them in my previous video, but I want to make sure that you guys see how awesome these are, because a couple of them are sort of intermittently out of print. And these are so worth keeping, because even as an adult, having these as a really quick, awesome flip through to just grab some information is really great. And instead of flipping through giant books like this, it is easier, I think, to get real quick ideas and information from these books. So we've got the Discovery of Americas, and this starts from where we think our original peoples came from over the land bridge, to the exploration and conquest, the Americas after Columbus. And what I like about these books is it goes date by date. So it starts off at 1500 and picks up at 1620. So then the next book picks up at 1620 and goes to 1689. And this one is the New Americans, colonial times. Then at 1689, it picks up and goes to 1763, the French and Indian Wars, struggle for a continent. Then Death or Liberty, the American Revolution, 1763 to 1783. And there's so much to look at, but it's not too busy. There's good meaty pages and information, but it's so well illustrated by her husband. I just really like it. Then the next one is A New Nation. This is the one that took me, this is an old library book that I found on Thrift Books. It took me a couple of months to find it. I actually had it as an alert to notify me when they got a copy, and it pinged at 5 o'clock in the morning when I was already online, and I bought it immediately. And this one is the United States, 1783 to 1815. Then the next book, that's done. So then it goes to A More Perfect Union, the story of our Constitution. And this will be nice. We'll do this at the end along with their book on the story of the Statue of Liberty, because Morgan is interested in the Statue of Liberty. She thinks that and the Eiffel Tower are really cool. So those are the books that we're going to use. But I want to do, as a unit study, I want to make sure Morgan has a little packet that she can keep for what I'd like to do is kind of laminate it when she's done. And she can have her own little unit study. So there's a lot to this. I haven't picked it all apart yet, but I got a lot of this off of Teachers Pay Teachers. And because I didn't want to do it myself. It's just, I don't want to do every unit study myself. If I can pay a few bucks for some really good material that somebody else has done, then I'd like to do that, especially paying somebody else to take their wonderful work and use it. I love that. This will be Morgan's American History Project. And in it, it'll cover the branches of government. Every single book that we do, she'll be able to take that book and fill out the different and varying pages of it. And again, I know this looks really thick, but it won't be that thick for her. And then when she's all done, she could do paintings and colorings and things. And then I can turn it into a book, take it to the store and turn it into a book. And then that will be her first American history book that she can use to reference later as we go deeper into American history later on in the 5th grade. And then we've got my state of North Dakota. So I built this also off of, there was a little unit study on Teachers Pay Teachers. And what I'd like to do here is it covers all sorts of crops grown, a map that she can draw to pinpoint certain cities that we have in our state, where our capital is. And then so here's what we'll do with the field trips that I have planned. So this will also cover a little bit of government, who's your governor, who's your state legislator. And with that, we are going to do actually three or four things. I think I've got it online here. So we want to go visit Bismarck, which is the capital of North Dakota. So you can go and get a tour of the capital for... Hi, buddy. So we can go and visit the Capitol for free. There's a morning and there's an afternoon visit, and we can take a tour there. The state Supreme Court house is also in that area. And so what I'd like to do is get a tour of our Capitol. And then I'm waiting on word to see if I can get a visit to the state Supreme Court Justice Lisa McEvers. And because she's a woman, I like to find good, strong female figures. And so if Morgan can go and visit and maybe interview one of our state Supreme Court justices, while we're in Bismarck, I think that would be really fun for her. Now, from there in Grand Forks, we have a meeting, a coffee date with our North Dakota state legislator, Scott Meyer. And so Morgan can bring a few questions with her and ask him. And I mean, politicians love that stuff. It's not all about the horrible politics that they have to sling at each other. They really do like to kind of visit their people and talk to them. And so he was really happy to have a meeting with Morgan and sit and chat with her. And then maybe he can tell her a few interesting things about what it's like to be a politician in North Dakota and what it takes to get there. So after that, I want something to read during that month. And we've already read a couple of Laura Ingalls Wilder books. This isn't really during the period, it's after our period. She's more the late 1800s. And yeah, I think it's really late 1800s. But I can't find a really good autobiography that would be interesting for Morgan and helpful for her. So we may choose to kind of jointly read this, and I always get two books when we jointly read. She reads one page and I read another, and we don't share a book. I just get her own. And I saw Blood on the River. If any of you have read this, let me know. We might do this. It's a fictitious novel, but with actual setting and historic figures about Jamestown. And since Morgan was born near Jamestown, I thought it would be really fun to have her read this. And then we have Our Strange New Land, the My America series. I've read a couple of these and they're kind of cute. And so we got Elizabeth's Jamestown Colony Diary, so we can read that together. It's very short. I think that would be really nice to do. So in the space of a month, we'll do this one for sure, and then either I will read this to Morgan or we will do a group read of Laura Ingalls Wilder books. I think I'm going to do this one. Since we've already read this one once, I think we're going to do something new here. So also I have the book on order, The Story of America and African Americans, Heart and Soul. And I know several of you have read it with your kids and you really liked it. So I chose that, and that's on order. That's coming, and it'll come in time because we won't start this until I think 1 April we'll start. So we'll go through the whole of April doing American history, and we'll take a pause from Story of the World from the Well-Trained Mind, Volume 1, and do American history for that month instead. So that's my plan for now. But there's also, during my research, I found a website that I really kind of like. I'm going to explore it more. I've been reading it, and it's the American YAWP, and YAWP is YAWP. And that word comes from Walt Whitman's poem Leaves of Grass, and yawp means yell. And so the American yell is kind of an interesting title. So this is online. So look up American Yawp. And it's a hugely collaborative U.S. open source history text, all online, completely free. They picked hundreds of different professors and historians to write into the text. And it's a living document. So as we learn new text, or as people bring new concepts in or link different events together based off of primary sources, anybody can write it in. Anybody can change it. You just click edit and write what it is that you think should be edited or added or changed and submit it. And that they'll research it, and it may or may not change the text. So I really like that idea, and it covers everything that we're going to discuss. So as I am studying American history and reading it to Morgan, before I do that, I'll take each chapter on the American Yawp and read it. But it also, you can buy it as books. It comes in 2-volume books. I wouldn't do that, because the whole thing is a collaborative, free endeavor meant for you to have access to American history and not pay for it, which I think is a really great concept. So it's published by Stanford University Press, and it's worth a look. And since they took the word yawp from Walt Whitman's works, and if you can say that 3 times, you're better than me, it's worth picking up Walt Whitman's complete works and reading it. The word yawp comes from his poem Leaves of Grass, which was banned during that period. I wouldn't say that it would be worth reading in elementary. I think that's high school reading because of the insinuations and connotations that Walt Whitman uses. But he is a fantastic American poet, and it is worth picking up his novel or his works. Anyway, I think that's it for me. I think I've covered it. But if you guys are doing anything with American history that is sort of kludged and hodgepodge together like I am, please do let me know. I'm very interested in other texts, and I love reading a lot, so let me know what you're doing. And I hope this video helps you and helps you along with your journey in finding curriculum and building some for yourself. Thank you so much. Take care, you guys. See ya.